Hey guys, welcome back to Home Built, and today we finally get the fun stuff of putting John Lemon back together. Okay, so as you saw last week, I struggled a little bit with the rear windscreen, but I managed to get Mrs. Jeff to help me yesterday putting the rear window back in. Okay, so I just want to talk about this window trim. Quite a few people in the last video were saying you should put the trim in afterwards. From everything I've seen, from every expert, from every book, I've never seen anybody who puts it in afterwards. It's all put in beforehand. I was always of the opinion, and I always thought that this trim went in to basically, it was put into the rubber to sort of expand the rubber and help hold the window in place, and you put it in afterwards. That is not really the case. This doesn't really affect the actual part that clips onto the car. What I believe this trim is actually for is more to hold the rubber in place while you're moving the window around, so the rubber doesn't just fall off, because on these long straight edges it comes off quite easily, and this helps hold it in place while you put the window into the car. Now, the thing is I forgot that I actually ordered all of the window trims. I thought I'd only ordered side window trims. I'd forgotten that I'd ordered front and rear window trims, and I put the old ones in when I put these windows in. The issue I've got now is it was such a pain to put this window in, and Mrs. Jeff really didn't enjoy it. So I'm going to try and put this trim in now afterwards. Now, it's a pig to get in when the window's not in the car. It's going to be a nightmare, and I'm going to try and do it, and I need to stop myself before I get to, if it looks like I'm going to damage the trim, then I'll have to stop. But I'm going to try it now and show you just how much more difficult it is afterwards, and it's not the way to do it. If you can find some experts who say to put it in afterwards, I'd like to see it, because I can't find it. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, that sucked. I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to pull it out when I have Mrs. Jeff's help later and try it then. For now, I'm going to go start doing some more fun stuff, like I might start assembling the doors. All right, so fixing these windows, one of the first jobs is refurbishing these front little quarter glasses, and I've got new rubbers for them. Unfortunately, they had a rivet in the top holding this sort of top pivot in, and I've had to drill the rivet out to get the new rubber in. So it's just a matter of drilling it out, disassembling the window, and now I've got my new rubbers. I can put my new rubbers in, put the window back in, and rivet it back. Just use a pop rivet and a washer up the top, and put it back together again. Well, thankfully the doors are finally done. They're really time consuming and use a lot of finger pressure trying to press those rubber seals in all the way around, and everything's really tight because obviously the rubbers are new. So anyway, the doors are in, the doors are on, and thankfully now I actually have my replacement steering wheel. This is exactly the same as the old one, just a little bit bigger, and moment of truth, does it fit? Ah, look at that, perfect, straight on. I think it's time to put this on, bolt it up, and move on to something else. Well, it is starting to look a bit more like a Beetle again. It's quite slow and tedious just taking my time going through and putting the new rubbers and parts in. Obviously, you need to be a bit more careful when it is all new, freshly clean painted parts. So I just had to take my time and go through it, but we're getting there. You know, bonnet, boot are on, doors are on. It'll have to wait till next week until I can fit the guards and the lights and bumpers and stuff again. But yeah, that's all I have time for today. So I suppose that means it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hey guys, 1965 saw the introduction of the new 1500 S sedan and the 1500 panel van to the Australian market. Volkswagen also prepared a prototype Beetle ute. Based on the 1200cc model, it was a normal Beetle until the B-pillar, and then it had a wall and rear windows directly behind the front seats. The rear was cut horizontally above the side trim, and there was a full-width corrugated steel tray in the back. Unfortunately, the ute never went into production. 1965 also saw the introduction of Formula Vs to Australia. Greg Cusack brought over his own US-built form car Formula V and set about producing his own CVVs. Other companies, including Alphen Sports Cars, produced their own versions, and the first Australian Formula V race was held later that year in November.
Okay, I didn't get it all back together again, but it's very close, and next week I think it should be definitely back on the road again. I'll have all the bumpers and everything back on, so we're getting to the pointy end. We're almost finished with this car, which is fantastic.
I say famous last words. We'll see. Anyway, if you're enjoying the channel, please like and subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Is that it?
Yes.
And of course, if you'd like to help out the channel, merchandise is available for sale.
Merch in the description. Subscribing really helps us out, guys. So yeah, if you can hit that button, that really helps.
If you're enjoying the channel, please spread the word.
All right.
Bye,
See you guys.
1965 also saw the Cusack brought over his own car. Yeah, he did. Yeah, man, he's CBB now.